Well, I remember the old dogs and the way things used to be. I'm laying down the law around here. You best get ready for me.
So I wanted to show you guys something real quick. When you're surviving out in the desert, what happens is there's not a lot of resources most of the time, so you learn to kind of exploit things when you come across them. So I came across this big pine tree, and in it you can see this scar in the bark. So underneath this scar is going to be some wood that's really impregnated with pitch, and this stuff makes awesome fire starter. I think it's what a lot of the guys call fat wood, or I just call it pitch wood. So I'm going to borrow a little bit of this fat wood from this tree and then show you guys how why it's beneficial and how well it takes a flame. So I'll hit you back in a minute. So here's a chunk of that wood, and you can see how it's just glistening with pitch. And then if you look even at the backside of it, this wood is like completely saturated with pitch. So my next step is I'm going to baton this with my knife down into little slivers and make some shavings out of it. Alright, so I got my chunk of fat wood that I cut out of the tree over there, and now I'm going to baton it down into some usable pieces. So my next step is I'm going to use my knife. I've got a nice solid piece of mahogany here that I'm going to use for batoning, and I'm just going to start processing this down. And basically I'll just keep processing it down until I have fairly small pieces, and then I'll whittle those down into either feather sticks or maybe just really fine shavings. I haven't decided yet. I'll have to let you guys know when I get to that part. Now I'm going to actually take these smaller sticks I have, and now I'm going to start cutting small shavings off of them. And it's these small shavings that we're going to see how well they take a spark. Using my trusty SE4 here. Seems to be a pretty solid knife. I've been using it for a month or two now and no issues with it. So you can kind of see so I get my blade against the wood, and then I kind of push my blade to cut these nice fine little shavings, and all this wood is just impregnated with pitch. Like, these are actually sticky. These little shavings are sticky from the pitch. So my hope is that they're actually going to take a spark. So I'm going to make a little pile of them and strike them with the fire steel, and we'll see what happens. I've got a little pile of pitch impregnated wood shavings. Is impregnated the right word? Does wood get impregnated?
That's what I'm at here.
Okay, excellent. So, but then I have another kind of pitch too, and I kind of want to do an experiment. This is like hard pitch, like it breaks up. So I'm going to try like making some dust out of this, and I'm not really sure if this will work, but this is my thought process, is to kind of get some fine pieces with it. And I'm going to see which takes a spark better. I don't know if you can see, this is kind of breaking up like dust. Of course it's scattering everywhere, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to gather this stuff up. But my goal is to get enough of a little pile of dust here to see if this will actually take a spark. Alright, so I'll hit you back in like 45 minutes after I have a pile of dust of this. Alright, so I've got my little pile of this dry, hard pitch, and I've got my pile of the pitch bark shavings. And now I'm going to, number one, see if either one of them take a spark with my fire steel. And if, in fact, they do take a spark with my fire steel, which one of them takes a spark easier, better, or faster. So, let's see how this goes. So I'll start with the dusty pile. So far, it's not looking good. It looks like when the spark hits it, it just melts the pitch. Ooh,
That wasn't
almost
bad.
went. Ooh, I almost saw a little flame. Look at that. So that wasn't like super easy, but I was able to get it to ignite. And it looks like it's gonna burn pretty good. There's a, oh, that fucking wind. All right, so that went out pretty easy. Okay, anyway, so that's the dust. So now let's try the actual shavings. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Was that the second strike?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. So if you guys come across this pitch impregnated wood like this, make a few shavings and that stuff takes a spark. Watch while I catch myself on fire too. All right, so cool. So now we know. Don't waste your time with the hard, crumbly stuff. Like maybe if you sprinkle it on the flames, it will probably eventually catch fire, but this is a good little fire right there. And that's burning hot enough and long enough. That's plenty long enough to get some more wood started. Nice. All right, back up, out.